just been discovered, and things are about to get real. Welcome to Wildstar. When someone finds the most legendary planet in the universe, you can be damn sure that everyone's saddling up their starship and blazing a trail to get there.
All right, there's someone that has encountered so many people over this few days at Gamescom. He's battered, he's weary, he's very glad to sit down. I think this is the only reason you've come to the studio, isn't it?
No, not at all. I can't wait to talk to you guys.
All right, tell us, what are you showing at Gamescom? What are you guys rolling out with?
So right now we're showing Wildstar. You know, we announced at Gamescom 2 years ago. I actually talked to you specifically about it. You know, we've been hard at work over the last couple years, super busy. It's an MMO. We're in beta. We're really close to shipping. And so, you know, we're super excited to get it out here and let people here in Germany get their hands on it and see what we've done so far.
I think you guys could have got this out a lot earlier, but you just love Gamescom so much. You love the Curryverse. You want the excuse to come back over here, yeah?
We did push out the ship date just a little bit just so we could come to Gamescom, right?
The real truth's coming out now at the end of the day. All right, well, what's been the reaction, do you think, so far from while you've been here?
It's been really great. You know, our booth has been super busy. You know, we've had lots of people playing the game. We've got PvP on the floor now, which is something new. We've got a low-level zone, a high-level zone, lots of new characters, 2 new races that we just announced a few weeks ago. All of the feedback I've gotten from people that have played has been super positive. It's playing really, really well. I just think overall it's been a great experience so far. We're looking forward to, you know, finishing it up in the next couple days.
We saw a presentation earlier on today where you guys sort of focused on the combat and the sort of not tutorial per se, but teaching the players coming into what the Operas Mirandi is for Wildstar. I'm just interested to know, I mean, you guys are really sort of going all out to make everything as clear and concise to the MMO newbie, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think that our real goal with the combat, you know, was twofold. One, make it innovative, make it something new. But, you know, there's a danger that you get in doing things like that maybe you push it a little too far, you make something complex or unclear. You know, that's not good, even if it's different, right? So our system, the Telegraph system, we think is very clear. You know, it starts out simple. We teach you the basics early on. And then when you get to some of our dungeons, you know, where our bosses are like projecting really complex and dynamic telegraphs, you know, we hope that we sort of learned everything that you need to know from that point to actually get in there, kick some ass, and be successful.
The overlay looks awesome, and it almost feels like it becomes a sugar at that point, like this really hardcore 2D sugar where you're having to dodge the particular telegraphs. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, I think but the best part about it for me is even though it's difficult, for us, the important thing is that it's never unclear, right? Like, it may be hard to find the safe place or figure out the, you know, the exact right thing to do, but it's never unclear as to where the safe place is and where the dangerous place is. And it makes for really dynamic, you know, group interactions, you know, where you're communicating, you know, via your own telegraphs. And I just think it's really unique in the MMO space, and so far everyone seems to really like it.
Can we sort of touch upon crowd control on it, because we saw there's like almost like a host of mini games almost for each and different interpretation.
Yeah, I mean, we just released our dev speak about crowd control, and the thing that was important to us about developing that system and innovating in the ways that we have is, you know, a lot of us at Carbine are just hardcore gamers, and the thing that we hated the most about crowd control in most other games is that you just lose control, right? Like, and there's nothing more frustrating, I think, for players out there, especially competitive players, where they just can't do anything but sit there and watch themselves get beat on while they've been crowd controlled. So our system basically allows you to still have some action while that happens. Sometimes you can break the crowd control, sometimes you can mitigate the circumstances and actually, you know, be able to get through that sort of an encounter, you know, with minimal damage, or even be able to strike back when that's happening. And so, you know, for those of you guys that haven't actually seen the video yet, I'd recommend you go check it out. It's pretty cool.
We're actually probably running that video over this as we speak right now, so it's like a little tease, but see the full thing. And actually, with those sort of dev speak things, you guys do sort of translate the humor you're trying to get across with Wildstar so eloquently and so easily, and it's great watch. Is that something that you guys have promoted actively because that's what you want to differentiate Wildstar from the rest of the market?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, from our very first debut trailer, it became very clear that that was something that really resonated with our audience, right? These sort of humorous, approachable, familiar characters. You know, ultimately, you know, when you're making a game and you're telling a story in a game, the best way to do that is tell it through the characters that are in your world. And so we've tried to go out of our way to make sure that when we release new information, you know, we're doing it through our Wildstar flicks, you know, so we've got our, you know, Malvolio, who's sort of our Dominion, you know, and he's got his own personality, and we've got Kit, who's an exile, and Agent Voxine, but all of these characters have now sort of become iconic. And, you know, I think that people remember the things that we're talking about because we're doing it through these characters, and they have their personalities, and it's something that's really core to what Wildstar is.
Now, we talked about this with you when you first showed us Wildstar, but I'd like to linger again just on the visual style of things, simply in context now with next gen, etc., where there's always that emphasis on much better, stronger visual fidelity, but your guys, it's that bright primary color, it's that really gorgeous sort of visual style. And again, is that another thing you guys want to go, our stuff stands out here?
Yeah, I mean, we, you know, speaking for the art team, they really wanted to come up with an art style that was timeless, that was eternal. You know, and so you see that in the designs of our characters, in the way that our world is designed. There is a lot of color that goes into that. Things really pop. And, you know, I just think what it does is it lends a kind of personality to the world itself. You know, this isn't like a dark and dreary world, you know, that you've seen in 300 other games. Like, this is something new and unique. And we just think that there's a good resonance between the personalities that we put for our characters and the actual personality of our art in the world and the design.
What's next for you guys? What's the roadmap for the next few months ahead? Just crunch, crunch, crunch?
Well, absolutely. We've got lots of work ahead. We were in beta. We've been in beta for quite a while. We've gotten tons and tons of feedback about the game. And so not only are we just trying to finish, but the reason why we did beta specifically was to get feedback from the players, right? What do they like? What don't they like? And, you know, if you're going to do that, then it means that if there's certain things that they don't like or they think need to be adjusted, then we're going to have to spend the time and we're going to do it. And, you know, we're just dedicated at this point to shipping a super polished game that is for the community, for the players, and we're going to do that. We're dedicated to doing that.
Listen, I appreciate you taking the time to battle your way through the hordes to speak to us. Cheers, best of luck with the rest.
All right, thanks a lot.
Wildstar. Adventure is about to get an ass kicking.